Hello, hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Social Sessions. This week, my phone beeping, put it on silent every time I do that. This week, we're going to be discussing content and inspiration for content, because if you've ever sat in front of your laptop struggling to come up with ideas on what on earth you're going to post, whether it be for your clients or for your own page, then you will understand the real frustration there is. You're pushed for time, you're trying to get others, you've got tons of other stuff to do. Perhaps, you've got to pick the kids up from school in half an hour or whatever it may be, and the ideas just don't come. It is so frustrating, and I have definitely been there. But over the years, I have come up with a few tactics that not a lot of people seem to be talking about. So whether it's just that they're trying to keep them secret or whether they just haven't discovered them yet, I'm not sure. But either way, I will be sharing 3 of them tonight. And they are all awesome tactics. They are going to help you come up with content ideas, no matter what the niche is. No matter how blocked your brain is, this requires no brain power. This is just so easy, and it gives you ideas like that. So it's genius. Okay, before I dive into the actual 3 super ninja strategies, let me first of all introduce myself. So my name is Colette Broomhead, and I am a social media manager. And have been for not that very long, actually, for literally just a few months. Before that, I was a business coach, and I've had my own business since 2016, and I have been helping people who want to start their own online business and basically earn a living online from home, so that they can work around their families, because essentially that's what I wanted to do. I come from a corporate background. Before I started my own business, I worked for a FTSE 30 company. I'd been there for 13 years. I loved working there, but as I kind of climbed the ladder, I found that I was actually getting less free. I was getting less restricted. I was getting less time with my family, and all the kind of life goals I had that I thought climbing the career ladder would solve were actually kind of getting worse, if anything. And so I took the decision to take a risk and start my own business, and I haven't looked back since. Well, I have looked back a few times. The journey's been like that, but I haven't seriously looked back since. Let's put it that way. Hey to whoever's watching live, nice to see you. I shall be live. Aren't great at letting me see comments as they come in, so I will flick back and forwards to just check comments. So let me just go onto the right page. That would be helpful. And then we can dive in to the content. What time are we on? Yes, it's all right. Where am I? Oh, whenever I do this, I forget that there's going to be sound on. And that's the wrong one. There we go. There's the right one. There we go. Okay, I don't think we've got any comments so far. Okay, cool. Right, so let's dive in. So first of all, I am going to share my screen, because I'm the tactics that I'm going to be sharing tonight involve actually showing you. I think it'd be easier to show rather than tell. So I'm going to share my screen and make myself teeny tiny. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen now, and I'm going to take you into my food blog. Okay, and so this is so that I can give you my food blog Facebook page, should I say. So I should stress, because I realized this evening when I was looking at the title of this Facebook Live, that these tips are all they all relate to Facebook posts specifically. So when you're trying to think what to post on Facebook, but hopefully they will also give you inspiration for the other channels too. Certainly the second 2 tactics will. But if you are watching this and thinking, oh, I could really do with inspiration for Instagram or Twitter or whatever it may be, let me know, and I will do a separate episode, and we'll talk through those specific channels separately, because each has their own kind of particular tactics that you can use that are specific to that particular channel. So tonight, all things Facebook. So with that, we are now on my Eat, Drink, Cook Facebook page. This page is actually a little neglected because it's the one that always gets left when I get busy with other clients and so on. So it's a little neglected. I kind of revived it a few weeks ago and thought I had it going, and then it just kind of died again because I got 2 new clients a week, and that kind of took over all my time. Good problems to have though, right? Okay, so top tip number 1. This is all about going into your insights. So you go onto your page and you go into your insights. I love this, might be my favorite of all the tips I'm going to be showing tonight. So yeah, look at my poor stats because I haven't been posting on this page, but ignore those. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to your pages to watch. Now, if you haven't done much with insights before and you're not familiar with this section, let me first briefly explain what the pages to watch section is. So basically, you can add pages that you want to watch, as the name suggests. And you click on the add pages here, you type in the page that you want to watch, or you can type keywords and it will suggest pages to you. So for example, I could say healthy, and then immediately it brings up all these suggestions, so I can kind of scroll through those and see if there's any I want to watch. Okay, I tend to pick a selection of like the really big pages, the kind of leaders, you know, the influencers in whatever niche I'm in, and then I also try and find a few that are closer to the size of my current page. So you'll see here, and you can just keep adding as many. So I haven't actually done that many for Eat, Drink, Cook, but like for some of my other pages that I manage, I've literally got like about 20, maybe more than that, pages that I'm watching, and already you can see it's pretty useful. It gives you an idea. You can see how many posts they've done in the last week. You can see what engagement they've got on those posts. You can see their growth, their page growth. So it's kind of all useful stuff, but that's not my tactic. Let me show you the actual tactics, because this is all about finding content ideas. So what you can do here, and I actually only learned this fairly recently myself. I never realized that you could do this, even though I'd been using the watch pages thing for ages. I had never realized this extra step that you could take. So let me just, show you. So we pick one of these. Now I tend to go for one of the ones that are actually growing at the moment, because they tend to be, you know, a bit more engaged. If the page is growing, that's a good sign. If it's dead, if it's not growing, you know, then I don't necessarily want to be using that content. So let's say, let's go for the very top one here, family fresh meals. And what you are now going to see is their most engaged posts for the last week. So automatically, basically what you're seeing is posts in your niche that leading influencers or other pages have posted that are doing well. So posts that you know already your audience are going to like, because you can see their audience is the same as your audience. And, you know, look how much they like it, 545 shares. So for example, if I was going to be looking to schedule posts for my Eat, Drink, Cook page, I would probably be thinking, yeah, okay, this seems to be a pretty good piece of content to share. So there's 2 things you can do with this. So for something like a recipe or a video like this, I mean, you can see people are really, really engaging with it. It's got tons of shares, it's got comments, it's got loads of likes. I could just share that, and that would be good content for my page. Another thing that you can also do is if the engaged, I mean, this is going to be pretty much all recipes, but say for example, there was a really great post that was like a meme or a quote or something like that, then you can just take that as inspiration and create your own post. I'm not telling you to go out and copy other people's stuff. Please don't do that. But you can take it as inspiration. You can get an idea. Okay, people really reacted to this Seth Godin quote, or let's say for food, this Nigella quote. So they obviously love Nigella. I'm going to find my own Nigella quote, and I'm going to create my own graphic, and I'm going to post that. Okay, so there's two things you can do essentially. You can just share posts directly that you can see are already performing really well on pages where your audience are hanging out. Or you can get inspiration from the posts that you can see are doing really well and create something similar yourself. Okay, make sense? Let me check for comments. Okay, don't think we've got any questions, have we? Hey Wendy, nice to see you. Yeah, no, it is super useful. I mean, I'm so glad that I have discovered this tactic, because I now do this every week when I'm scheduling my posts. One of the first things I do is I go through my watch pages and I click and I see what else is performing really well. And you know, some of them I might think, oh no, actually that's not relevant, but you know, it gives you great inspiration. Okay, so that's top tip number one. Top tip number two is even more simple. So top tip number two is just to use Facebook search. So again, for Eat, Drink, Cook, I might search, let's say, healthy recipes. Okay, and what that does is that brings up all the kind of latest stuff. Now here it's all a bit random. So what I would tend to do is I would look at either posts or I would look at videos, could be a good one because video content always does really well. And basically, again, you want to look and see what's getting a lot of engagement. So here, look, this has had 4,000 plus views. Great. Wow, 60,000 views. And I'll tell you, I'll have a quick look at it first to check that it's actually relevant for my audience. It's something that's going to be appropriate for my page. But if it is, this works just as in the same way as the first tactic. So, you can either just share posts directly that are already performing really well elsewhere, or you can get inspiration from them and create your own version. So you could do check photos as well. Being a bit slow. You could even put perhaps, like, so for my page, I could put something like food memes. You can see that I already have. And it brings back, and again, some of them will be really naff and you won't want to use them, but you might get some really good inspiration. So again, here you might want to just click on photos and you can kind of see all. And you can just kind of scroll through these and think, which do you like? And again, you can either just share direct or you can, I like that one. I know I was supposed to be a fruit, but I feel like a vegetable. So like, say you see one that you like, you can just click on it. Okay. And you can either share it straight from here, or just a quick tip as well, because if you are wanting to schedule rather than share right away, because if you're doing all this at once, you might come up with, let's say, 10 posts that you want to use, but obviously you don't want to post them all at once. So if you're wanting to schedule stuff out, now you can't actually do that by hitting the share. If you want, by doing that, you just share straight away. So if you want to schedule it, instead of clicking share, it's another little ninja tactic for you. You can click on the date stamp here, and or you can, and basically what that does is it gives you the URL. And if you then share that URL in a post, so let's go back into Eat, Drink, Cook, and I'll show you what I mean. Sorry, everything's being super slow. I suppose it's because I'm live streaming at the moment. So let's close that down, and we want to go back into Eat, Drink, Cook. Where am I? Right at the bottom there. Okay, so if I wanted to share that post, that cute meme, okay, I can write whatever comment I want to write. Okay, and then I just paste that link. Okay, and look, it then pre-populates the meme, and then I can just delete the link to make it look nice and tidy, and boom. And then I can just share that. In fact, I'm going to share that now because it is super cute. And there you go, and that's that done. Oh, sorry. The whole point of that was to show you how to schedule it. So let me just show you that again. I won't obviously schedule it, but I'll show you what to do. So let's say I've put that in again. I get rid of that. I've done my comment, and now I want to schedule it. Okay. So what I would do is I come down here, and you can see now you can schedule it as per a normal post, and you can just say what time and date and then hit schedule. Okay, but I won't be doing that. Okay. So that is top tip number 2. So top tip number 1 was to go into your insights and use your watch pages. And by clicking on each of those pages, you can then see their most engaged posts for that week. And you can then either share those posts, post directly onto your page, or you can use them for inspiration for your own posts. Top tip number 2 was to just simply use the search. Super simple. Think of some of the keywords for your niche and just search them, and you will find posts, videos, memes, all of the good things for your page, which again you can either share directly or take as inspiration to create your own posts. And the very last tactic that I'm going to share with you tonight is perhaps the simplest of all. So the last tactic that I want to share with you is actually using your own posts to get inspiration. So we're going to go back into Insights. Yeah, I want to leave this page. Okay, and we are going to go now to your posts. So down here. So you can either do this or you can just click on post here. Okay. And what you can see here is all the posts that you've posted recently. And you can just keep, click see more, so you can keep going, keep going, keep going. And you can see how they have performed. So what engagement they've got, how much reach they've had. And you can get an idea for which posts have performed well and which haven't, which have kind of flunked a little. So you can see the most recent one that I posted, which was, let's have a look. It was quite fun. It was again, it was a share. It was one I found by using these very tactics that I'm showing with you now. And you can see it was just a funny meme. Every weekend I say to myself, Susan, she makes me laugh even now, you have to stop drinking wine. Thankfully, I'm not Susan. Made me chuckle. Yeah, I knew it would make other people chuckle too. So I shared it, and you can see it's got a few good reactions. It's got another share, a couple of comments. So that's performed quite well. It's reached about 300 people, which is reasonably decent in comparison with my other posts. So I would then make a note of that. Now, if you were watching my last week's episode, you will have seen me showing you the tool that I use to plan out all my social media, and that is Airtable. So I'm going to take you back in there now. We're going to go into Eat, Drink, Cook, and I will show you what I do. So we can see that was a post from April. And actually, I'm not even sure if I put it in here. This is how far behind. This is going to be a terrible example. Let's see when I posted it. So I posted it on the 28th of April. Okay. So I'm just going to, I don't think I actually put it into Airtable. So let's pretend it's in Airtable. Whoops. So let's pretend I scheduled it all out and planned it nicely rather than just doing it on the hop, which it appears I've done here. Oh, come on. There we go. So sorry, Susan. Oh, I think that was the wrong emoji. But anyway, whatever. Okay, and then it's meme. If you're wondering what this is that I'm doing right now, do go back and check out last week's episode, because I explain this entire template and how I use it there. And then we'll just put this in here. And then basically what this is doing is show, if I wanted to repeat this post now, I could do. I posted it on the 28th of April. And right, let's just make a time like, let's say it's 3 p.m. I can't remember what time it was. Okay, now this post has obviously performed well. So when I'm going through those stats in my insights, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to click here where it says reshare to Facebook. And I'm going to make a note that, yes, that's worth resharing again at some point because it got some good reaction. Now, you might be thinking, hold on a minute, you've already shared it once. Do you really want to repeat yourself? And the answer is yes. I'm not going to reshare it, tomorrow. I'm not going to reshare it, in the same weeks that I've posted it, or even potentially in the same month. But people don't see everything that you post on Facebook. We know this to be true. Even the people who like your page don't see probably most of the posts that you've put on Facebook. And so it's absolutely fine to share posts like this. Again, things like conversation starters, memes, videos can all be reshared, again and again and again. Make the most of that content, squeeze it for everything it's got. If it's performed well before, share it again, and it'll probably perform well again. The only things that you wouldn't necessarily share over and over are, time specific posts. So, if you were sharing about something that you had literally done that day, or, sharing a personal story about something that had happened that day, or something like that, it's my birthday today, you're probably not going to share that, 2 weeks from now, even if it will get a lot of engagement because people, love to celebrate your birthday with you and so on. That's not going to be one, but that takes common sense. But for the most part, if a post performs well, there is absolutely nothing wrong with squeezing it for everything it's got and resharing that post again, the following month or a few times in the future, especially if you're struggling for inspiration. So just to remind you, what I do is I go into the insights, click on posts, and then if you scroll down here, you can see all your posts and you can see what's performing well. So look at this one here. This one did super well. And this was just a simple conversation starter. All I did was post Yorkshire puddings just with roast beef or with any Sunday dinner. And as you can imagine, it inspired, a bit of discussion. And so the more people are commenting, the more people Facebook shows that post to. And so it got some really good reach. So that would definitely be worth sharing again. So I shared that on April the 7th. Let's see if I put that one in there we go, look. So I'm going to click on that, definitely reshare. Okay, so that's it. That is those are my 3 tactics. So I hope that's been helpful to you. Before I go, if you do struggle with kind of inspiration for content, I've actually created a bit of a cheat sheet. It is 31 posts that you can literally just kind of plug and play. So one for each day of the month. And it's just there. It's like a template, and you can just take your posts and plug and play, make them relevant to your own niche, and hey presto, it's done. So super quick, super easy. So if you are interested in getting your hands on that cheat sheet, then let me know, and I will pop the link over to you. So I hope you found that helpful. Next week we are chatting about, let me find out because I've forgotten. Hold on a minute. Let me stop sharing my screen with you for a start. There we go. And let me go into, so next week we are talking about video. We're talking about how to make great videos without appearing on them. If you hate being on camera, and I know lots of people do, then you can still create videos for your business, because videos do perform well. They do tend to get more reach. People tend to engage more with video. So if you are really kind of struggling with the idea of getting in front of the camera yourself, then I'm going to show you how I create videos for my business and for my clients' businesses without ever appearing on camera myself. It's super quick, super easy as well, as pretty much everything that I share is, because I like to keep things that way myself. Have a great evening. I shall see you next week. Take care, and don't forget to let me know if you want a copy of that cheat sheet. See you.